You're listening to the 49 Carats Podcast, a 49ers Goldmine production with Stephanie Sanchez.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another edition of the 49 Carats Podcast. I'm your host, Steph. It is Thursday, October 17th. We're back to our regular Thursday schedule, back with my Thursday co-host, Monica of Football is Sexy. Monica, I didn't get to talk to you last week because, of course, the 49ers had a game that day against the Seahawks. Last time we spoke, the week prior to that, we weren't feeling too great about the direction of this team, but I think we're feeling a little better, right?
A little better, yes. But isn't that what we love about football, is the roller coaster of a ride that we go on for 17 weeks and then some, right? 6 months pretty much. Yeah, we've been through it, and it's not even like week 8.
I know. It is a roller coaster of emotions, as always, with this team. They bring us up, they bring us down in every which way. But yeah, right now we're up, and I think also we know this week coming up, these next 2 weeks, heading into the bye week, they're huge, right? Like, so we know that this game against the Kansas City Chiefs means a lot, not just for setting yourself up for that bye week and hopefully having won 3 games in a row going into it, but also I think it would do a lot for the psyche of the 49ers to know and prove that they can beat the Chiefs. So we'll definitely get into that today.
100%.
I'm excited to talk about that, and hopefully the 49ers ready to knock some of that monkey off their back, right? So but before we get into that, let's talk about some injuries, because we continue to track that. It's Thursday today, so yesterday the team had their first practice of the week. Monday was a bonus practice because they had the mini bye, but on Wednesday, few do not practices on this list. So their second kicker, Matthew Wright, still not practicing. Jake Moody,
I can't even.
Still not. I know, second kicker, yeah. Did not practice. Juwan Jennings dealing with a hip issue now, apparently. He did not practice. Malik Collins with a knee issue did not practice. And then limited, Jordan Elliott, Deebo Samuel with the wrist injury. That's new. Jordan Mason with the shoulder injury. Malik Mustafa limited. I do have to say, there are a couple of these that are positive, right? Like Jordan Elliott missed last week. He's limited. I think that's a good sign. Hopefully he can suit up this week. Deebo Samuel, that's a little concerning, but the fact that he practiced at all, even limited, I think is okay. Jordan Mason, I was a little worried about him, but him being limited, I think, is a good step in the right direction. And Mustafa I was a little worried about, but he practiced limited as well. So we'll continue to keep eyes on this one, and we'll know a little bit more tomorrow what their designation is going to be for Sunday's game. But they're a little banged up, but I think for the most part, we're okay with this. Just a little worried about Jennings and, of course, the kickers.
Yes, and I mean, isn't that a famous hashtag? If we stay healthy, because
famous last words.
It's just like a nightmare for all these teams. You want to get the coaches on the same page. You want the players to be good. And then when you finally get all that, then you're like, oh, and please stay healthy. Yep. Please, nobody get hurt. And here we are. But hey, for the most part, like you said, I feel good about our roster. The kicking thing, that could be very concerning, which we can get into more later, but obviously, and I was thinking about you this morning because knowing we're going to do this, and I'm like, God dang, Steph's got me reliving the Super Bowl, which I have not wanted to relive, but like you have no choice this week.
You're going to do it
eventually, but at least I've had some time to digest it all. Okay. Right. But yeah, we could definitely get into it. But the major key components of our team, besides CMC, will be on those sidelines ready to go.
Yeah, and that's what it seems like. So
Yeah.
in the other good pieces of news, George Kittle, who seemed like he was dealing with something during that game, he's no longer on the injury list. Remember, he was on the injury list last week, played, he's fine. Fred Warner also no longer on the injury list. And Mooney Ward, who missed last week's game against the Seahawks, he was a full participant. Demetrius Flanagan-Files, linebacker, who's been out for a couple of weeks, full participant. You know who else was a full participant, Monica? Ricky Pearsall. He's back practicing.
Crazy.
We'd love to see this for Ricky. And there's a couple of things that I wanted to play here. Obviously, the team's very excited about him being back on the field, and obviously Ricky Pearsall is excited to be back on the field. And I think that energy is palpable. Everyone can feel the energy radiating off of Ricky Pearsall, and he's happy to be back. Here's what Deebo Samuel had to say about it. Oh, 1 second. For some reason, it's not playing the video, and it's one in technical difficulties. 1 second. Doesn't work. I'll just play it off of Twitter. But this is why I do slides.
You're so good at this stuff.
Work, but okay, yeah. So let me share it from Twitter instead. Sorry for that, folks. And that's the wrong link. Weird. Huh. Okay. Well, basically you see the quote here. Deebo, sorry about that. Deebo said, quote, "He's been excited. He's never left the building. In here every day, just doing the best he can to get back. And he's back, so let him spin," end quote. So these players ready to see Ricky Pearsall back on the field. And this is pretty much what all the players have echoed, like that same sentiment of we're super pumped to see him back. He's pumped. And then I'm going to show this clip here of, him running routes, practicing, looking good, he's looking spry. It's probably not crazy. His conditioning may not be the best right now, right? He not only missed the last few weeks and hadn't been practicing for the last few weeks, but also, you remember in training camp, he missed a lot of time, right? So I think all of that can maybe hurt his chances of actually suiting up this week. But with Juwan Jennings, maybe being a question mark for this week, I wouldn't be opposed to it if Ricky Pearsall suits up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about him starting against the Chiefs. You know what I mean?
What's your concern?
I would love him. Don't get me wrong. I am so excited that he is overcome such a traumatic event, such a injury. I mean, all of that. And I want to get him on the field. But this is like our biggest regular season game. And I would have preferred him have a little bit more time before he hits that field, only for the pressure. There's just so much around this game. Now, I'm not saying he can't handle it. I'm not saying he can't withstand that. I'm sure he's so excited, and I would love nothing more to have him come back and everybody stand up in an ovation for him as he, jogs onto the field and comes out ready to for a snap. Like, that's going to be amazing. But it is against the Chiefs. So, you know what I mean? It's just, if I'm Kyle, it would be very limited. And then if he's doing better, I would just, and I'm sure, I mean, these guys know what they're doing, but it ease him into that game. 5 yards, 7 yards.
Yeah. And maybe just a few
Steph,
plays.
Could you imagine? Steph, could you imagine if we were running the show? Could you imagine?
I mean, I'd have him out there if I was running the show.
I know.
But no, I hear you. I think that's very important. I do think the 49ers are probably going to ease him in, if not this week, whatever week he comes back, maybe the following week against the Cowboys. That's also a home game, so he can still experience, the feeling of coming out in front of the home crowd. I think that's what the 49ers want for him. And let's not forget, too, he's in this 21-day practice window, and the 49ers do have to activate him before those 21 days for him to play this season. So I think within, let's see, it opened, I think, on Monday. So we're only 4 days into that window. So they have some time to,
And how exciting for him to come in against the Chiefs, dude, and then come in against Dallas. Like, he's probably so psyched.
Yeah. Either one, I think, would be great. And, Ricky spoke with the media in the locker room yesterday, and he was asked on, how he feels about playing, and he feels ready to roll. He says he's not sure of the 49ers activation plans for him, but obviously just excited to be back out there. So still TBD on Ricky Pearsall's return, but we are getting closer. And yeah, it would be exciting to see him out there with the rest of the team for this one.
I
don't know. I think you're afraid to have him go out there and have his first game be against the Chiefs, or just like it, because it's such an important game. I almost want him out there to help give the 49ers a boost, because I feel like the 49ers just need anything to get over this team. And even just like that feeling of being inspired and, oh, we got to win this one for Ricky kind of thing. Like, I think that could help, galvanize a team, give them a little juice, and maybe not think about the fact that they're playing the Chiefs and they've lost to the Chiefs twice in the Super Bowl and all this other stuff that goes along with it. I feel like it can maybe distract them from that, like in a good way.
Right. No, I definitely think he should, get a few snaps. I don't think I would be heavy on him on this game. I mean, he's gone through a lot. The Chiefs don't play. Their defense is crazy. I mean, you're going against one of the best teams in the NFL. So I'm just saying, and I don't need him hurt furthermore. So it would be an easing situation for me. And that's a lot of pressure too. Even though, that sometimes we have to protect players against themselves. Like, he probably wants to play the whole game. But don't forget, we have Ayuk, who's got a chip on his shoulder. Hopefully Debo will be 100% ready to go. Who's got a chip on his. These are guys that were there when we lost and the confetti was coming down, and it wasn't red and gold, red and yellow. And I was there. And so I have a chip on my shoulder, by the way. So let's do it for Monica and Stephanie. Let's go.
Do it for
all about us.
We are
all about us.
Yeah, we're all trying.
I'm just saying, like, I just feel like, sure, give him a couple snaps, get him in there, but like the majority of the catches I'm seeing are going to be with our vets come Sunday.
I'm with you.
And Juwan, and I throw Juwan in there. He's maybe not has been on the team as long, but he is definitely our ace in the hole.
He was well on his way to being Super Bowl MVP. Let's not forget.
100%.
We definitely will not forget 100%. That performance. And we know he's capable because he outdid himself already this season from that performance. So yeah, he could definitely do it if called upon. Hopefully he is healthy and ready to go for this game as well. But Monica, while we're at it, like talking about this game and the mental hurdle of it all, like that's kind of what I want to pivot to now at this point, because it can't be ignored nor denied that there's just something with having lost to this team twice in the Super Bowl, and not just in the Super Bowl, but the last 4 times these teams have played. The Chiefs have come away victorious. And so, topic of conversation this week, Kyle Shanahan was asked about it. Here's what Kyle had to say. He says, quote, "I think everyone understands that we've lost the 2 Super Bowls to them. So, I mean, that can give a little post-traumatic stress when you turn on the tape. But I think that's human nature. But you've got to make sure you don't get caught up in that. This game has nothing to do with past games. That was last year. You think about that stuff going into it, but in terms of what it plays out in the game, it really has no correlation, and you try to make sure that it doesn't happen. End quote. It feels like the team, not just Kyle in this quote here, but every quote I've heard from the players as well, they're trying not to make it a big deal. They're trying not to think about the past, but we know it's there. And like Kyle says, it's just human nature. So how much of that do you think that's weighing on the 49ers going into this one?
Oh, as much as they try to convince all of us and themselves maybe that this is just kind of another game, it's not. This is the first game everybody circled. And I think that there's a one of my phrases that I love that is not mine, but like if you're in the past, you're probably angry. If in the future, you're probably full of anxiety. But if you're in the present, right here, right now, you're probably grateful and you're probably in a serene state, right? So if I was in the locker room, I would try to get myself and everybody else in that present now. We are here now. This is who we have on the field right now. And let's just go out and battle team against team, quarter against quarter, half against half. And let's play every down as if it's the last down. Like, because it's true. We just cannot worry about the past. It's dead and gone, and we can't even worry about the future. We have to worry about Sunday. That's it. And everybody needs to come out, play their best ball. And I want to see what you usually do with the Niners. Like a lot of other teams, you might see discord on our guys gel, man. They love each other. You can tell there's bromances in that locker room. And I want to see that on the field come Sunday. We got Brock Purdy, who's literally outshining Mahomes right now statistically. It's insane. You cannot deny what this guy is doing, even though they keep trying. Brock is him, 6 foot, whatever, and everything. He's got to have a great game. I mean, everybody's got to have a great game. Like, do your job, right? I hate to use that. That might be a phrase from another team, but like, really, that's what it comes down to. Everybody needs to do their job. And I don't know about you. The traumatic part for me is Kyle outthinking himself when it matters most, and that middle of the field for Kelsey,
Mm-hmm.
And I still go back to, I just said don't live in the past, and here I am going back to the past. But like, I really believe that Super Bowl really was affected when Greenlaw went out. Again, that is when that middle opened up. So we need to close that middle. We cannot let Travis Kelce run around, dance, do his thing. It just can't happen. So I just think the mental component, our guys have been there before. That's the good news. Like they're battle tested in big games. And so it's just going to come down to, not making crucial mistakes. And when the Chiefs make their mistakes, because they have not, both of our teams don't really mirror their wins and losses. So even though the Chiefs are 5-0, they haven't been playing that good. They're squeaking by, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't been playing that bad. I mean, that, well, we have lost a couple of horrible games, but
they should have won those. Like,
they should have won those. Exactly. Yeah. Like we should be like 5-1 or whatever. Like we should have only lost maybe one game. Like, so it's going to be interesting to see who capitalizes on the mistakes, because there will be a few. And I'm telling you, Steph, I'm going to go nuts. If I see field goals, you've got to get into the freaking end zone. We've got to do well in the red zone. Steph, I'm telling you, I'm going to be texting you. Like, this cannot be a field goal game. We have to be very, very aggressive, I think, in this game.
When we talk about Kyle Shanahan and just some of the overthinking things, right? I think one of those things is being aggressive. Like, I think he scares himself into not being aggressive. The 49ers have, at least in the Super Bowls, they've had the lead early, and you just think about protecting that lead and not building on it at a certain point. So I would like to see if it's similar, right? Like there's a scenario in which maybe the 49ers aren't leading in this game, right? I almost would prefer if they didn't
Right.
lead in
Please.
this game. Like
Yeah.
just let them think that you're
Right.
down in the dumps, you know.
Steph, if there's a freaking lead, I've never thought we would never want a lead, but like, I'm like, can we just be tie all the way through until the last like 30 seconds? And that's the other thing, Steph. I swear to God, like, please, Lord, a minute and 40 is way too much time for teams like the Chiefs. Can we like make that clear? Like a minute 40, you cannot relax. You cannot relax, especially with the penalties that are being called for pass interference, holding, whatever. We don't forget. I mean, I don't want to go there, but I mean, even on the games last week, some of these calls are out of control, roughing the pass. So you have so many things that if it is close, you've got to have that game time management, that clock, all of it. Like everybody better be on their game. Whoever manages the timeouts, whoever manages the clock.
That'd be Kyle.
Well, can we have somebody like as a backup
beside,
you know what I mean? Wait, I don't care if it's the water boy. There needs to be 5 people behind Kyle reminding him of what's going on, because it's a lot to remember. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So, I'm already stressed. When is it? Friday, Saturday. We got.
I mean,
you
I know.
Got me riled up, Steph.
Yeah, you're getting yourself worked up. You're getting yourself worked up over here. But like,
I almost went to the game, but I'm like, you know what? I really, I know this is hard for people to probably understand, but as much as I'd love to be at that game, like I really want to watch, and I really want to be able to hear the commentary. And you know this, it's a vibe, right? But you do miss stuff when you're there.
Yes.
So
I say that all the time.
I opted to be in the comfort of my own home and watch.
It's going to be Tom Brady commentating for this game. That should be interesting. I wasn't too much of a fan of Tom Brady commentating. Like the first week, he was like not that great, but he's gotten better. So I'm actually kind of excited to hear what he has to say about this week, hear what he has to say about Brock. But this is now his second game commentating on a Niners game. But anyway, yeah, like I'm almost dead serious, Monica, about like the fact that the 49ers maybe don't want the lead. Like just play dead most of the game. And you that meme, you know, the one I have up here, call the ambulance, but not for me, and then come back. Because that's how the Chiefs have played the 49ers in the Super Bowls. It's like, you know,
give up.
Oh, they think we that they got us, but they don't.
They think we're sleeping, but we're not.
Yeah.
We're not. It's like we're awake. He's got that one eye open. Let them think it.
Got let that one eye open. Yeah, so that's how the 49ers, I think, need to play this one. And yeah, I would like to see a more aggressive Kyle Shanahan, not overthinking too much. I think the one positive is that the 49ers get to play this team again in the regular season, right? And you said it. I don't think this Chiefs team is as dialed in as their record would suggest. They're definitely not playing as good as like the Vikings, for example. But still they're 5-0, so you can't take them lightly. You know how good they are. But I think both teams right now definitely still have a lot to clean up. I think, yes, you have to take advantage of that, especially the 49ers. Like the 49ers have to take advantage of that, just knowing that it's a regular season game and there's not as much urgency as there would be a Super Bowl, right?
Right.
But this might not be very encouraging. The Chiefs are coming off a bye week, and Andy Reid is 21-4.
Roger hates the Niners. Like Roger Goodell must hate the Niners. I swear to God, because you've got
damn script writers.
No, on those script writers, you've got the Chiefs coming off a bye, Dallas coming off of a bye. I'm still mad. Look, see, I keep going against my little quote of being in the past. I'm still mad about the facility that we had last year at the Super Bowl in Vegas.
Gosh, yeah.
I mean, you have to look at these things. No calls on the offensive line during, like, we remember this stuff, and as much as I try to stay in the present, like I can get pulled back real quick with the PTSD that I have, right? So that's all from passion, mind you. But here's the thing, and let me throw this out there. I've said this numerous times. One of the things that the Chiefs have is they have, to me, the best well-coached team in the NFL. I have to say that,
I
right?
think so.
And part of it, and this is timely, Steph, is whether or not Steve Spags, I don't always forget how to say his name, Spagnolo, what's
Spagnolo. It's spelled like Spagnolo.
It's so weird, right?
But it's Spagnolo.
And then, like, as a Latina, I always want to say like Spagnolia. I won't even like throw in an A in there. Whatever. I'll call him Spags. Spags maybe had wanted a head coaching job, hasn't gotten it, which is crazy to me. But here's what I love about the Chiefs, what they're doing, right? They've been together like 5 years. Andy Reid and Spags. Okay. Yep. They have it dialed in, right? Yep. And what do the Niners do? Robert Saleh's gone. DeMeco Ryan's gone. Like, I don't know what that is, but like there's a page out of the Chiefs book where I wish our coaches, our next defensive coach, and I know you can't do this because, you know, guys want their own teams, but the grass is not always greener to run your own team. Robert Saleh, right? Like, what's wrong with collecting some checks with the 49ers, having one home, and less stress? But then I get it, because then look at DeMeco Ryans. So you have like the DeMeco Ryans who's killing it over there with CJ Stroud, the Houston Texans, who's like the prime example of why you do leave a team. And then you have like Robert Saleh over here of why you don't maybe want to leave a team, because you just end up back to a defensive coordinator position, which is what I think he'll do. I don't think he'll get another head coaching job. He doesn't look like a head coach. So come on back if we need him. And Nick Sorensen, let's go, brother. And special teams. We haven't even talked about special teams.
I don't want to talk about the special teams. They're not special.
You know what? I have a rosary somewhere in here, and I'm gonna have to take it out.
Prayer
I'm
gonna
have to take it out.
Special teams.
Oh my god.
Prayer circle. But no, I think you make a great point about, you know, Spags and that defense. Andy Reid, the continuity that they've had is insane, and they were already good, but they have this advantage too of not only being good, but being able to build on that every single season. And they're consistent. They have a clear culture. Like the baseline is crazy for that team. And Kyle did speak about that as well. He said, quote, that defense has gotten better and better each year. I thought last year was the best defense that we played all year, and I feel that way this year so far. They've got guys who've been playing a long time together. They've been doing his scheme for a while. He's been doing his scheme for so long, but they continue to add to it. They continue to fine-tune it, and I've got a lot of respect for him and his scheme, end quote. So that's part of like the challenge of this week. It was part of the challenge in the Super Bowl. We know how that went, and it's the same defense, right? So yes, granted, there's different players, right? Like they don't have Snead anymore, but they still have Chris Jones, who's a wrecking ball. And the 49ers struggled with him. He's just one of those players that's kind of matchup proof, right?
So, I am excited that we have Pooney. I think that could be a key factor. By the way, you know, I was looking at the roster, and we have pretty much almost our exact offense that we had in the Super Bowl. Pretty much. Yeah. But on defense, we only have like I think it was like 5 players that played in the Super Bowl last year. Our defense is a freaking toss-up, right? And those are the things that, you know, we can't control everything, but it's just part of the game, and we have to do the next man up, and it has to be well coached. And, you know, that's one thing I have to say that Bill Belichick really did well with the Patriots is, I don't care who was hurt, it was next man up, and they never missed a beat. Yeah. You know, they just really were a well coached team. And so I'm going to be listen, I'm already, you're getting me all ready. I'm going to have my 49er rosary ready to go. We got to get this monkey off our back.
49ers branded rosary.
Let's go. Hey, and
Only
I'm
with
hoping somebody did it. I've been calling for a hypnotherapist to come help Kyle. I don't know if that's been done yet, but let's go. Let's lift that monkey. Come on, let's go. Let's get it done.
Need to lift that monkey off the back. Now I think I want to talk about now what the 49ers. Okay, so we did talk about what the 49ers can do differently, right? We want them to be more aggressive, obviously overlook the mental hurdle as much as they can. I will say this. I do think there are some potential keys to unlock a 49ers win over the Chiefs once and for all. I can't help but notice that the closest that the 49ers have gotten to beating the Chiefs was with Brock Purdy, both from a score standpoint and then just from like situationally in the game. It was close. And so I think Brock Purdy helped inch them towards that. And we look at Brock Purdy this season, and you said it, like statistically, he's outplaying Patrick Mahomes this season. If you look at yards per attempt, Purdy's like one of the highest. Patrick Mahomes is one of the lowest. You look at yards gotten from yards after the catch. Purdy has like the lowest right now. The Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes have the highest. And for both, it's a very, very large margin, right? So they're playing completely different games
And
right
even
now.
down the field, I believe like 10 plus yards, like he's airing it out. I'm with you on that.
Purdy, 10 air yards per attempt.
Yep.
9.1 air yards per completion. Patrick Mahomes, dead last, 5.2 air yards per attempt, 3.6 air yards per completion. I would just say this, based on that, it seems like he's going to be in Fred Warner's vicinity a lot in where he's throwing. And I think I'm hoping Fred has a big game. I know, someone in the chat mentioned, Campbell, Devondre Campbell. Hopefully he isn't in coverage. That's the second key I want to talk about. The younger players. Players. You mentioned Dominic Pooney. They didn't have last year. I think we know Pooney is an improvement from last year. He's a plus, right? He's been great. That could help be the difference as well, right? You got Purdy, you got Pooney. And I think also what I've seen from the younger players, especially last week on the defensive side, again, it was mostly on need that they had to play. But Renardo Green, Malik Mustafa, even Tatum Bethune, like all those guys made some nice plays, right? And mind you, those guys don't have the mental hurdle of having lost to the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. So why not lean into that a little bit? These young players, give them that opportunity, and they might be the key. They just might be the key to unlocking a win for the 49ers.
Yep, 100%. And I'm sure those vets are going to have the rookies amped up. Here's the thing. Niners more amped up than the Chiefs. I would say probably so. Because the Chiefs, they're excited, but what do they care? What do they care? Here's the thing. The Niners know everyone's going to be watching this game. All eyes. It's going to be like Tupac. All eyes on me. All eyes on this game. And everybody knows. I mean, you've got egos in the locker room, right? And I don't mean that in a bad way. You've got, we've got respect for ourselves. This is a respect game. This is a statement game. This is a respect game. This is not a do or die game. This is a mental chess game. Like, we need to show our guys that you don't own us anymore. The last time we won, we had Alex Smith, for Christ's sake. Was it Alex Smith?
No, they had Alex Smith.
I'm sorry.
We had Colin Kaepernick.
I'm sorry. Yes. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Like, when is the last time we've heard those names? Really? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be, get your popcorn. But I'm going to call it right now. Niners by 10.
Oof. Okay.
Steph, I don't want to hear that from you. I'm going all in with 10. Chips are in. Okay.
Okay. I respect that. I respect your enthusiasm and confidence. Um I hope they win. I hope
Okay.
they win. But
All right.
I'm saving my score prediction for towards the end of the show. So
See,
you'll
I'm already there with you. I'm already there. Mind you, we have to think about it like this. If we don't win now, when are we going to win?
yeah, that's the
If
thing.
we don't beat
Yeah.
the Chiefs now, when will we? We have an amazing roster full of Hall of Famers, future Hall of Famers on both sides of the ball. Like, get me in that locker room. There is no way these Niners should be losing this game. They have to come out, be who they are, be who we know them to be, and we will get the W. And for the life of God, can the kickers stop tackling? Please.
Can the special teams coverage team tackle so that the kickers don't have to?
Please, can
Yeah,
someone let
we
our
need that.
special teams know that the kicker's job is actually to kick only? There's not an asterisk, not a tackle, kick. That is it. For Christ's sake. Okay, sorry.
Prayer circle for special teams once again. You know what, Monica? I'm with you. Like, if they don't win this game, when? If they don't win this game, I don't think they will win against this Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes team, maybe ever. Like, that's how bad it is. Because you know what it reminds me of? And I'm gonna do a little parallel here so people can kind of see what it's like. It's like when the 49ers play the Cowboys now. We don't respect the Cowboys. As fans, I don't think the team even really respects the Cowboys. We look at them and it's like, all right, like we own them. We're not scared of them. We just look at them like, okay. And
we circle it like that's going to be a fun game. Like, nobody's scared, right?
exactly. And yeah, there's, I think, obviously more history behind that and the feelings we have towards that and why we like to boast about it. I don't think the Chiefs are like boastful about the 49ers, but they own the 49ers. They have sunned the 49ers. Point blank, period. Like, and so it also reminds me of when the Seahawks dominated the 49ers for as many years, how we currently are dominating and have been dominating the Seahawks for the last 4 games, right? Like, or 5. And I don't see the teams that are on top, that are on the winning side of those matchups. I don't see those teams like batting an eye. I don't see them being afraid. In turn, I see the team that's on the losing side of it, again, deal with that mental hurdle, trying to hype themselves up for the game, to try to not think about all the times you've lost to that team. But it's too much. Unless you do something different, unless you bring in some new blood, right? So that's what we're talking about. I want to see the young guys. I want to see more Brock Purdy. I think that's going to be the key. But right now, I'm not feeling super confident.
Okay, let me help you, Steph. Everything's lining up. Okay, we're at home. 1,
this is true.
We've got Brock Purdy, who's out playing Mahomes. 2, Kyle has grown his hair out. This is big news. Okay, he's going to be man. Okay. And for the life of whatever you want to say, this is the game that we are going to win. I mean,
it needs to be, right? Like
we're going to get the dub because it's going to be more exciting when we meet them again for the 3rd time in New Orleans. I'm calling it now. Let's effing go.
All right. You pumped me up.
I got you, Steph.
All right.
Listen to me. Brock Purdy, again, playing better than Mahomes. We got Deebo Samuel. We got Ayuk, who's got money. He's got money in the bank. Okay. So let's go. We got Debo, who needs to get to the Super Bowl. We got George Kittle needs to make it to the Super Bowl. These are guys that don't have much time. You don't think that that's in their mind on this game? For sure it is. And they need it for themselves. So besides our third kicker and besides our special teams, okay, I'm going to go with the fact that we still have the better. It's close, but I still think we have the better roster. They might have the better coach. So it's a matchup it's a very close matchup. And that's why I think the spread is only 1.5 because Vegas knows what they're doing. But I'm going to go out on a limb and I'm going to go 10 plus. The Niners are going to come on strong and they're going to give us a heart attack. But right around 2 minutes, we will come out victorious. Let's effing go.
Okay, so around 2 minutes. So you're thinking the 49ers come back in the end, right? Like they're not the 49ers aren't leading by 10 in the fourth quarter.
No, I think it's close. I don't think it's going to be more than 10 points both ways. I don't think there's going to be a 17-0 type of game. I think it's going to be close. And then I think whoever has that ball last, okay, next to last, is going to win the game. All right. That's just going to happen. And Taylor Swift, that's the only thing I'm bummed that I'm not going to the game so I could see my Tay-Tay.
Is she going?
I don't know. I kind of don't want her there.
I don't want her there. No.
I just would prefer not, but I don't need that extra stuff.
I only want her there if the Chiefs lose.
Ooh, look at you. See, I like Taylor besides my Niners situation as a songwriter. So it's like, whatever. But here's the thing. I'm telling you that horn, we're going to do it, man. We're going to do it. We're going to be on here next Thursday and you're going to feel like, oh, Monica, remember when I was stressed out? If not.
We hold ourselves accountable and Chiefs fan in the comments says Chiefs will put 49ers away in fourth quarter. Hey, we got to respect that opinion. Got to respect this opinion because it has been the case. Not going to say anything about that, Christopher. But while you're here, like the video. Now let's get to Trash Talk Thursday. What have Chiefs fans been saying about this matchup? Honestly, Monica, like this kind of reminds me of when we were in Vegas and after the Chiefs won, there was barely any celebration. Like it was just okay, cool. Like we did that. Like that there wasn't anyone out in the streets like celebrating crazily. Like, if the 49ers won, how crazy Vegas would have been. Anyway, I just think like they're at this point where they've won so much that it's like they're taking it for granted, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So this is what Chiefs fans are saying. I went to Chiefs Reddit. They're not saying much about this game. It's kind of crazy. It's a little disrespectful.
Right.
But there was this meme I saw. Thought it was kind of funny, actually. It says, "You have foolishly taken an early lead. You shall now pay the Patrick price." And that's how I feel. Like, no early leads for the 49ers, please. Like, I want, like we say, I want the game to be close. Because I almost feel like if the 49ers are up, that's a mental hurdle. And also a repeat of every game they've already played this season. Like, if we're being honest. Another user.
You want it like a horse race where they're going like, up and back. And then
they're trading blows.
There we go.
Trading blows. Another user says, you ever know with 100% confidence that no matter how the season goes, no matter how the next decade or handful of decades go, you'll always have one up on a team. Like, even if they beat us in one Super Bowl, even if after Mahomes leaves the Chiefs, become mediocre for a generation, we'll always have the 2 Super Bowls on the Niners. That one hurt. That comment hurt me.
And the only way to have that not be the case is for us to get one this year and to do it again.
Yeah.
But it's true. What are you gonna say?
I mean, stop the three-peat. Stop the three-peat. That's the
three-peat.
only thing that would make it sweet, I think, at this point. Yes, it won't take away the other two, but I mean, it would make it a little sweeter. Another user said, sucks that when we are coming off a bye week, our opponent is coming off a mini bye since they played on Thursday night. I don't want to hear it, Chiefs fans. You guys are 21-4 after a bye week, okay?
Yeah,
I don't want to hear about like what's fair, okay? All right?
Exactly. And here we go again. I know.
That's all I can find.
Yeah.
It wasn't much. It really wasn't much. Have you been seeing anything from Chiefs fans on Football is Sexy platforms, Instagram?
Not really. I think one thing yesterday I said somehow there was an exchange on one of my posts, and I think one of the Chiefs fans just said, "Hey, we're hurt. We're not doing great." And I'm like, "You're 5-0. I don't want to hear it." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Other than the fact that they're a little banged up, there really isn't much. There really isn't a lot of conversation, and that's the thing. When you have two rings that we gave you, I don't know how else to say it, or you took from us, however you want to talk about it, is like there's not a lot of excitement probably on their side, but there is for us. So it's definitely it's one-sided for sure, I think, of what this game means to the Niners versus the Chiefs.
You know what I saw a lot of actually at Chiefs Reddit was a lot of complaining about their GM. I'm like, really, guys? So, like, yeah, I guess 49ers aren't the only fan base that complains even when things are going well. But I just thought it was funny. They're not talking about this game. They're mad at their GM. They want him to make a trade for a wide receiver. Anyway.
Interesting.
Yeah, interesting for sure.
I'm just glad that they didn't get Devontae Adams. I would have had a heart attack.
Adams, they could get a wide receiver still, maybe like a DeAndre Hopkins, but probably won't happen till after the Sunday. So I frankly don't care. Okay. Now let's get to $10 trivia. You guys know what it is. If you guys have joined our Thursday show before, I give you guys a trivia question and you get it right. First person who gets it right in the live chat gets $10 sent to them. $10 trivia. Today's question is, what 49ers quarterback holds the team's single season record for pass yards with 4,278? In the meantime, while you guys guess,
TikTok.
While you guys guess, I'm going to give my score prediction. You ready?
Oh,
so
okay.
I told you,
not biased, right?
You're not gonna like this one. I mean,
no,
okay,
it's okay. Give it to me.
So, when I do,
stop making excuses and tell me.
I'm not making excuses. I'm saying when I do my score predictions, I do tend to look at points per game, like average, what the teams are averaging.
Yeah.
Get an idea.
Yeah.
The 49ers are averaging 27 points per game. All right. That's good. That's 8th, tied for 8th in the league. Kansas City, 15th with 23.6 is what they're averaging. My prediction for this week is going to be the opposite. Kansas City, 27, 49ers, 24.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
I don't think that's a bad call. I'm close to that.
Again, I need to see the 49ers win against this team before I ever predict them to beat this team again. That's where I'm at.
Right.
And keep guessing, people, in the comments. You guys aren't correct yet.
I hope you're wrong. Have I said that yet?
Because you said you're predicting the 49ers to win by 10 plus. Did you give
that's a little much. Let me be clear. I would not put $1 million on that. I'm just saying,
you just riding for your team. I respect it.
I'm riding for my team, and I'm putting it out there, and I'm going to go with 28-17. We got to make a statement. And we cannot do that by kicking field goals after field goal after field goal. So I'm counting on the fact that as many times as we have not come out with 6 points in the red zone, that we do that this game. That is my hope.
They got to. They got to make it happen.
Yes.
Gotta make it happen. All right. We still are waiting for the correct guess in the chat. So a couple people have said Brock Purdy, right? So it's not Brock Purdy. In fact, I want to see what Brock's season. Well, let's see. Maybe it was. Hold on. Oh yeah, it is Brock Purdy. Wow, you know what happened? So I have a.
I was gonna say because
It is Brock
that's
Purdy.
what I thought. It is okay.
Snoop, you were right. You were the first one to guess. Brock. It is Brock Purdy. Look at me giving you guys like trick questions. No, it was Brock. Sorry. So what happens is I have like a literal deck of cards that has 49ers trivia.
Okay.
I pick one from there. Obviously not updated since last season. So that just happened. Yeah, sorry, Snoopy. I suck. Sorry about that. It is Brock Purdy. Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool though that it is Brock? He only beat, so it was Jeff Garcia before, Tanisha. It was Jeff Garcia before. That's who I have in the card, and that's who I had here. But yes, Brock Purdy beat that last season by 2 yards. That's cool. That's cool.
Nice.
In his first full season, no less. So, Snoopy, as we always do, I mean, we follow each other. Sorry, ignore that. We follow each other on social media. So if you want to, give me your info there and we'll make it happen. If not, use one of these QR codes, either Venmo or Zelle, whatever you prefer. I'll send you those $10. Just submit the request and I'll send that over. All right. Oh, Snoopy only. I know his name, so don't fool me and try to get a request in, all right? I'm only paying him. All right. Well, and maybe Snoop, you could use those $10 to make a bet on the 49ers winning this game. All right. Thank you, everyone that joined. Thank you, Monica, for joining me again on a Thursday. If you haven't liked this video yet, make sure you do that. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do that. All right. If you haven't followed Football is Sexy on Instagram yet, make sure you do that. Also, download the Football is Sexy app. You don't want to miss that. All right. And I got to go because I got to run to a meeting. But audio listeners, leave a rating, leave a review. For now, have a good rest of your Thursday, folks.
Let's go. Bang, bang.